but they should see the thumbnail first. They can still hear us, but
Perfect.
that would be like the last stream we just did, where we were all in there hanging out and talking for like 15 minutes. Didn't know we were live.
It's because Michelle and I are still trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
Because I slaved a computer to be our streaming computer now. So we're figuring all that out. Wow.
Don't make it easy. All right, here we go. Going live with Jacob again. Prepping the adventure for use. How about that? Okay. Now, if I hit this fancy transition button.
You could have muted us for the transition.
All right.
I don't see anybody yet, though. Just you and I hanging.
Get the live chat up. Pop out chat. Now, last time somebody was in my Discord channel using the stream chat, and I forgot all about it.
Oh, I didn't know you had a stream chat.
Yeah, back when I was playing a lot of EDF, there was a couple people that used it a lot.
I haven't played that in a long time.
EDF.
Yeah.
I love and hate that game.
Yeah.
It's
Earth Defense Force. Were you there when you went like underground? What was that, like number 6? We were like underground.
6 just came out.
Oh, maybe it was 5.
Yeah, I've played 5. You go underground a couple times in that one.
Yeah. I didn't know there was a number 6.
Yeah, it just dropped recently and then got some super bad reviews because I think you had to make an EA or not EA. What's that other game launcher store?
PlayStation?
No, that other store for Epic. Isn't it Epic? I think you had to.
They changed that now, but yeah.
Yeah, they did change it, but they got a very rocky start because of that.
Oh man, I didn't know there was another one out. I might have to check it out.
No one here but us nuts, Glee says.
That's alright, we're nuts.
Yeah, that's true.
Extremely unfortunate this game is in the state that it is. This game suffers from insane desyncs. Player position, aim direction, enemy corpses. Wow.
Everything's terrible.
A lot of negative reviews.
All right, Glee, we're doing a whole bunch of sound things over here, so.
Hey, our wives are in the chat.
They are. They're so supportive.
I swear they like us.
Maybe.
Well, yours likes you.
I don't know, man.
Oh, I like your little campfire rocks down here.
I could put a gain on there. See if that helps. I don't think it's actually doing anything. So, yeah, let's see. So Jacob's steering this time. I wrapped up the map.
Steering?
Yeah, well, you're most of the screen right now.
Oh, that's right. We're sharing screen.
Yeah. I got your Foundry. So he's in Foundry. I gave him the map, and he's loading it into Foundry, and he's going to turn. I don't know how this works. I haven't done this. So he's going to turn it into a module of sorts that you can just go grab and plug in. We will also have the map where you can just grab it as a whatever file and use it. But I wanted to see how this works. And so
I gotta remember that stream's watching me because I'm gonna be super fast and jerky. I gotta go nice and steady now because I'm used to just doing this on my own.
See, Chris says, and so trepidation in our hearts, we venture forth into the swamp once more. Maybe the last time. So, Jacob, scroll when you're done fiddling with the wall there.
I'm making windows. All right.
I did put windows in there.
Yeah, but it makes them the doors when you.
That's very true. The big tree to the top left.
Big tree, top
Yeah,
left.
there you go. That
Right
tipped
here.
over one. Zoom in.
Yeah.
To the.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah. So I had some rocks
That's
that were
really nice.
that brown color. I was like, well, that looks like dirt. And I tucked it up under there, so it looks like it ripped it all up.
All right, let's start adding map notes, right?
Sure.
Let's start with the pooper.
The pooper. There's a magic item in there.
Oh yeah, what do we
I
got?
don't know.
Oh
I wish. Oh, you know what I could do? I think.
yeah.
Well, I'm watching you through OBS, and I was like, I wish I could make this bigger. I can just go to the browser thing here.
You could go. I sent you a link so you could like just be in there.
That's
You
true,
can
you
even-
did. But then
you
I
can
can't
even-
see the notes popping up while you're writing them.
Oh.
So I need to judge your typing.
You know. Oh yeah. Don't.
That's okay.
Don't. I don't want people to judge my.
I got a better display now.
Okay.
The golden crap from American Dad seems appropriate. I haven't seen that one. I've barely seen any American Dad.
All right. So what's going on at the pooper? What was his name? Henry.
Henry? I like Henry.
What's Henry doing?
Not pooping because he's dead.
Now I'm being watched. Typing. I'm getting all nervous.
Let's see. Well, do you want to start at the beginning or do you want to start with Henry the Poop?
I like pooping, but we can skip over that. All right. So the beginning would be down here, right?
Yep, that's where they walk in.
All right. Well, what's this? Describe this to me.
Are we trying to make this adventure all take place on this one map, or is this like one stop along the way?
Glee.
She's leaving us already.
Okay, young sir. This is your YouTube channel. So.
Oh, well, you're the pro GM though. So.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, it's like, what do you want to try and do? Do you want to make this one part of mini, or do you think, in your professional opinion, you could squeeze one whole adventure on this map, or at least this map, and then like a side battle map they go to or something?
What's a whole adventure to you?
A one shot.
2, 3, 4 hours.
2 to 3. One we do on. Well, we kind of speed things up on stream, so.
We do, yeah.
A normal one shot that people
Like
would play at their own speed.
3 to 4 hours.
Yeah, saying that maybe we could bum rush on a stream.
Well, so the first thing I usually start with, I guess we're gonna go through my creative process on this mess, is what do I want the end goal to be?
So like a BBEG fight or finding something or that kind of thing.
First of all, what is the reason the players are coming here? And what is the goal of being here? So if we're making hello, old
It's
Grognard.
old Grognard says. That's my favorite. Don't tell the rest of the chat though.
I'm sure none of them are listening right now.
That's good. I mean, it's sad and hurts, but that's good at the same time.
Where's your stream channel? I can't find it.
Oh, are you talking about the Discord one?
Yeah. I don't see it. Oh well.
That's all right. There ain't nothing going on.
So what is our goal here?
Do you? I
Is this
always
where they
like.
pick up the quest line. Is this where?
Oh.
Is this where? This is where like they get assaulted here. Is this the hey you guys have been traveling for some time. You finally find a place to get some respite. It's a bit weird. That's in the middle of the swamp, but you have found it. So you're gonna stay the night here, and then boom, mystery happens.
I kind of like this being the destination. It might not be like, the Adventurer Guild hires the adventurers and say, go to this swamp because there's something funky going on here, or like this specific saloon, but like that could be a little more vague. Like in this area, there's something happening, and then you start the adventure there. Like, hey, you're going through the swamp that they told you about, and you found this weird saloon right in the middle of it, or tavern, whatever we're calling it. So,
and what are you at the swamp for?
A disturbance in the force.
Okay.
The
force.
Well, or I could totally not steal Dave's Plaguebound adventure we're doing, where some people have gone missing, and we were hired to go find them. What would you go to a swamp for and not come back from?
I appreciate that, Cephas, for popping in here. Good
Yeah.
to see you, buddy. Good to see you.
Dropping in for a smidge.
I mean, it depends on the area. Going full blown. So for the one shot, you got to be a little railroady, right? So
Mushrooms. The mushrooms are important in the swamp.
That's true.
They have
Gotta pick
special
the
mushrooms. So somebody came in here to pick them, and they stopped coming out.
Perfect. So let me.
But what were you gonna say about railroading?
With one shots, you got to be a little railroady. A little.
A little bit. I agree. Yes, especially when you're streaming. Cleanse a curse. Get a curse for an enemy. Get a resource. Chris says rare flora. Yeah. So like, people dealing with this swamp might already know, like, hey, there is some kind of magical energy in here. Like, this is how we get these super weird mushrooms. But it's never been anything to be, scared of before.
So, the mushrooms are used in rituals to cleanse a curse. Is that what the mushrooms are used for? The ones that are being sought after, but the cleric who came to pick them never came back to duty.
I like that. Some holy mushrooms.
Holy poop mushrooms.
No, those are the cursed ones.
Oh.
They've been tainted.
Oh. So our players are here to investigate
Yes.
the missing cleric.
And that's it. Like I was saying earlier, there's no, hey, there's this tavern in the middle of the swamp. They don't know that.
They don't know about this tavern.
Right. That's going to be very weird to them when they get there.
Cool. So you would probably start with a, like a swamp image, non-battle map, and then start spinning the tale of, we are looking for Father Chris winning, and
Henry.
Oh, is this Father Henry?
There might be.
Oh no.
See, and I'm kind of thinking, I didn't want to throw it at you too soon, but I'm kind of like digging the idea of there being some time shenanigans here. Like, people go in here, get stuck or something, and like a whole bunch of time passes and they don't realize it or something. I struggle with the time ones. So like Henry's, that could be Henry in there. And he's aged and decayed, even though he's only been gone for a couple days. But it's like he's been gone for 100 years or something.
Oh, and is he still living though?
No,
So
he'd be dead and decayed.
okay.
But I know that doesn't make sense because how's he timing so fast on the inside? It'd make more sense if time was passing on the outside.
I mean, it's your world, man. It can pass however it wants. Maybe there are certain mushrooms that make you age.
Just decay you real fast so they can consume you faster. Reverse Rip Van Winkle. Halo fungus. They're investigating and trying to find someone. Suddenly, why is there a tavern here? There's Peter. Well, they have not enough sense to come out of the He learned that one from me.
This old man.
I've been teaching Peter some southern/western cowboy-y expressions.
You're teaching the old man?
What did I say the other day, Peter, that you were like, hey, you never heard of? And I was like, oh, well, I got a bunch for you. You're the one making the old cowboy TTRPG. You should know all this.
I know, that was definitely fun. I kind of want to play in one.
Well, we were supposed to do another one with him, right?
Yeah.
And we were going to make him run that same thing, but in nuts.
Everybody loves nuts.
Oh, man, speaking of nuts, that's been kicking my butt lately. I was trying to add a couple more skills, I think I told you.
I know, I need the updated version.
Yeah. She was kin to somebody. Yeah. Is that a weird thing to say? I thought it was perfectly normal. She was kin to a bison farmer. Or buffalo farmer.
Cool. All right. Well, let's put in. So, are we doing timey-wimey then?
I don't know. That's just, I am a sucker for time things, but we don't have to. It was just what came to mind because I was like, oh, we got this cool skeleton to use. It would be interesting if that was the guy we were supposed to find, and for some reason he is completely decayed. But it could be something else. It could be like the mushrooms speeding him along somehow, like their spores are making him age and decompose super fast so they can eat him up.
It's funny. I'm grateful that you're different than me. I hate time.
Dude, time stories are hard to do.
Yeah. I think that's why I don't like them.
Yeah. Well, I don't have any time shenanigans experience with TTRPGs, but I'm just talking about storytelling. Like,
oh, okay.
I love time travel stories. Really hard to do, but
they're very hard to do in TTRPG, in my opinion.
I say the first campaign I did, there was some time stuff going on, but they didn't find out like right until the very end. The guy that had been giving them all the quests this whole time, pointing them out where to go, he wasn't stuck in a loop, but the deal was he kept losing this battle, and he jumped back, try again, lose, jump back, try again, and he tried it a bazillion different ways, and these deity things had told him, no, you got to get these adventurers involved, and he didn't want to. He kept trying to do it himself for personal reasons, just over and over and over again. And then at the end of the campaign, you know, when he lost that battle again and the adventurers party showed up, he explained it to him. He's like, "Oh, I've been looping. It was like 3,000 times." It's like,
"Oh wow,
you gotta stop this."
I'm actually in the middle of running one similar to that. It loops yearly.
No.
But I don't want to give away too much because it's actually a written adventure path that is really good though.
Very good. Steins Gate. I don't know if you've watched that. It's an anime. It's like 2 seasons, I think, is one of the shorter ones.
I like the shorter ones.
Yeah, that's how you know it's good. It's like if you see an anime and it's 26 episodes, you're like, that must be a good one.
Samurai Champloo was pretty short.
Yeah. It was a time one. It was very good. I didn't care for the ending, but it's another story for another time.
So I guess we got to decide, because we got to decide if this tavern is like when you step through the door, is that when you become affected by this, or is it when you walk over this crossway plank?
Yeah, let's see.
Go ahead.
Well, maybe instead of different times, different dimensions.
Yeah, like a different scape almost. Like
that tavern came from a different dimension or whatever, and it's not normally swamp there. Something like that.
Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot.
Glee says Steins Gate is great. It was. The ending got a little confusing, but it was very good. Chris says my favorite time travel story I've read is The Impossible Times by Mark Lawrence. It's weirdly grounded and plausible.
So I'm actually going to put an invisible wall here. Don't tell the players. So once they cross that gangplank,
they can't go back. Can you make the walls one way?
Yes.
Like they could walk through it but not back?
Yes, you can.
Oh, very good.
Wall direction. I just gotta remember which way it is.
Yeah, left is up or down.
Yeah. I think I actually have it the other way.
Rabbits by Terry Miles is also a good time story. I think I know which book you're talking about. It has a rabbit on the front.
I did it wrong.
Did it wrong. Deducting that from your salary.
Man, I'm going to lose a whole penny. Okay, there it is. Oh, perfect. So I love the idea, like, they cross into this mindscape. Now, the question is this Henry's mindscape?
Let's just put a pin in Henry for now. He's just the man on the toilet.
Oh, okay.
He might be responsible for this whole thing and, like, accidentally cast a spell while he was pooping and messed everything up.
That's one heck of a poop. He's a sorcerer. A time sorcerer.
Grimwood says it gives an arrow to show you.
It kind of does. I didn't understand the arrow at first. Now I do. Do you see the arrow?
Now, does that mean that's the way they can go or can't go?
That's where they can't go, which was throwing me off.
Ah.
Because I thought it was the other way around. All right. So as they cross over this plane, is there a feeling? Is there something that we should write down of, like, a description of, like, you walk through and just this odd feeling of or like a shimmer or something, or no clues like that.
We don't have any Oh, you should. Should you make the wall right where the mushrooms are at? You see where they are? By the plank?
Oh, move it back? Okay.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Because, like, they kind of walk through a mushroom gate and
Oh.
get smacked by spores or something.
Smacked by spores.
Clee says you feel moist. Ew. Could the mushrooms do a little piff when they walk past or something? Or
Sure. So they don't really think anything about it, but it's...
or like by the time they hit they're a couple steps away from the mushrooms, and the mushrooms.
Yeah, as soon as they get onto the first little spot right here. Right?
I was thinking where the planks end.
Oh, right.
That way they're good and in there, and then the mushrooms catch them. So they kind of like would look back and be like, oh, because the mushrooms might squeak or something when they shoot the spores out. And just, poof. There you go, a mushroom piffed.
It's almost like a giant fairy ring.
Yeah, there you go.
I like it. So they come in, and then there's the... And that's the only like indication that they've entered into this new area. But they don't know that, right?
Ah, they're just like, okay, weird mushrooms spewing stuff, sure. Of course,
So
if you tell the players, hey, Cleric went here to pick magic mushrooms, my players, they would 100% rip those mushrooms out of the ground as soon as they walked in.
Oh, these ones right here at the entrance.
Unless you tell them the magic mushrooms are X color.
Well, we could do
Here you go. The magic mushrooms are that nasty piss yellow color. Because the guy in another dimension was using the outhouse, and it was creeping over to our dimension and making magic mushrooms.
I'm fine with it. So these here are the magic mushrooms.
Yeah. Yeah, so you gotta look for yellow mushrooms. Of course, I think golden mushrooms. Yes, Glee, you're right. Because, yeah, all the magical outhouse refuge was coming from, or refuse, whatever, was coming from the other dimension and crossing over to ours by accident, and that was making the magic mushroom. It was fertilizer. It's like magical fertilizer. And then something happened in the outhouse, and then the whole tavern came over. So, like, the saloon tavern thing could have been for a bunch of magical creatures. That's why their droppings were making magic mushrooms. I'm a professional writer. Do you know that?
Yeah. Love it. Okay. So what do we? So when they cross this, after the mushrooms go, what's the first thing that sticks out? Like, let's talk about what do they smell? What does the air feel like? What is something that stands out as like a glaring thing? Like, is there a design on the front doors? Is it the skeleton?
Oh yeah, how are we gonna explain the skeleton out here? I was thinking, should the saloon? I keep calling it a saloon, but I don't think that's right. Should it be like in pristine condition? I mean, we got food and stuff in there, so
Yeah,
that could be something that stands out because everything around it is dirty, funky swamp. And it's like, how is this building out here in such pristine condition?
Okay. Like it. Are you playing with a fidget spinner?
Maybe. It's not a fidget spinner, but it is a little fidget toy. Can you hear it?
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. I was just like, what am I hearing?
Here, maybe I'll do it right here.
Nice.
Click, 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 click.
All right. So we'll put this map note. We're gonna change the name to something else, not the pooper. But
The pooper. Bogs are known for mummifying things, so the preserved building fits. Well, dang it. Tiny frog sitting on the rock looking menacing. I do have a couple frogs on lily pads in the back. Old Grognard says, the Pooper, my favorite character class.
Oh boy. Alright, so the first thing they see at the entrance is going to be pristine tavern.
Tavern would probably be the right word.
Now, is there sounds coming from the tavern? Is it lit up?
No, so that's going to be the weird thing, right? It's pristine, and when you step inside, like we got all the weapons and the food and everything out, it looks like it should have people everywhere, but there's nobody. Like,
Okay.
just completely empty.
And there's no lights lit.
What do we got in there? Do we have any? We didn't
There's
put any
some
torches
candles.
on the wall.
There's candles.
I think the candle should be lit and actually consuming. The flame should be consuming the wax. Since we got all the food and everything.
Does it reset every night?
That's a good question.
Am I putting on too much pressure?
No. Maybe the candles melted, like they burned themselves up and they're just kind of like wax puddles there now. So it looks like they were left to keep going too far or whatever.
And they're still at the very end.
Yeah. So here's the thing. If we got the food setting out and everything, because I was thinking, this whole tavern got zoop, pulled over to this other dimension.
Okay.
How long has it been here though? That's what I'm trying to think. The priest we're going to find, or cleric or whatever, he's only gone for a couple days, so at bare minimum the tavern's been here a couple days. Should it have been here longer?
Yeah, no. If it is a time puzzle, I do think that when the candles burn out, it resets it or something.
Oh no, I think Glee's got a good idea. She said,
Ooh.
candle flame is still hovering high in place, but the candle itself is melted low. Yeah, so you're still kind of in both dimensions. I like that.
Can I
That's
copy
good.
your text? I can.
It's a time puzzle. When the candles burn all the way down, everything resets, and they start from the top again.
The thing with the the candles is that information. So I'm trying to do the description of outside
Okay.
right now. I mean, I'm going to add this stuff to the inside.
Would be super trippy if, like, you walk in the tavern and you see all the stuff laid out, and then every so often you just saw a glimpse of somebody from the other dimension walking by using the stuff. But then I guess the stuff would be moving too.
Do you want to? Well, not necessarily.
I guess if it's a copy of it that came over here. What happens if they take the boat instead of the bridge? Maybe that's how they got here. Could say that.
Mm-hmm.
You arrived on boat.
You have arrived on boat. Okay. Tavern inside. So, do you want to make a table of possible random things they could see, like just a little roll, like a roll table, some basic
Like different patrons and
yeah.
waiters and waitresses and somebody. Oh, I gotta have a ghostly piano player up there.
Cross the barrier. All right. So what was that? Was a ghostly piano player?
Yeah.
What was the other thing? A waitress?
Waitresses, some guys playing darts over there. Well, that would be neat if you saw them playing darts and then one of the darts actually moved.
Yeah. So I want to make these kind of simple prompts, nothing too crazy, just to kind of give the GM something to mess around with. Is there no way to edit the table once it's made? I always forget. Oh, okay. Add rows. Okay, there it is. What's another option, Chris?
Dinner time, Grognard says. All right.
Oh, he's going to dinner. It's not dinner time in the game.
I think so. Eat a plate for me.
Glee left us too, going to Google meeting.
Yeah, she said she was going to Google melting times
Oh,
for candles.
I read it as Google meeting time.
She did have a lot of those today. She started her new job, so.
Glee, what? No, it was me, Glee. I'm crashing. How was your new job, Glee?
Her first day was supposed to be yesterday, but there was a holiday and they forgot to tell her.
Oh.
Well, I mean, it's all remote, so it's not like she had to go anywhere. She just... Sounds of the kitchen working and prepping food, but no one's there and nothing's happening. Ooh, maybe you can see the oven flare up.
Yeah.
Great. Oh, yeah. Yeah, her last first day of a job was when she had her wreck.
Oh.
Yeah, that one she had to go to work for, and that's, yeah. That was a good time. And then your job before that, your first day, the two head people that were supposed to onboard you and do everything weren't there, like for that whole week.
Cool. All right, so we have some stuff going on in the inside of the tavern. But so what? So we have this show up. It's chaos in here. The brand new tavern, or pristine, I should say, pristine tavern. And so the players are most likely, we can't tell them what to do.
We can.
They're probably gonna go through the front door first, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Do you wanna? Would you tell them as they walk in, like they might see something through the windows, but they don't hear a single sound?
Sure. What do you want to say?
I'm asking, like, would that be a good thing to tell them, or would that
Yeah, why
just
not?
confuse them?
Yeah, we get them like really. How high are the walls? Seems to be a common question.
Yeah.
All the time, every single game.
I've had that one a couple times.
How high is that tree over there? I don't know. Google average tree size.
It depends on what you want to do. That's how high it is.
That's the best answer. Yeah.
The pristine tavern, cleanest joint in the swamp. Please wipe your feet before entering. Ha.
Love it. So as they enter in, what are some triggers or some events? Oh, I thought we put a door back here. Those are
Oh, were
windows.
we supposed to? No, we started to, but then we didn't.
So I gotta walk all the way out and around for the pooper? Just kidding.
That's true. That's rough. Dang it, I had it at it. So,
Sorry.
would this mess up what we're doing? If they walk into the tavern and some swamp monster from the outside, like, just crashes through the wall, and you have a big old brawl in there, and, like, tables get air knocked everywhere, but then they all start coming back together after the fight?
Ooh. So what you could do, well, how I would write it is, like, let them investigate the tavern for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Like, have one of the, like, did you just hear a dart smack into a wall? Or, wait, are the piano keys moving, but nothing? Oh, they stopped. What the heck? Like, have them investigate for, like, 10 minutes, kind of, like, discussing what's going on and looking around, and then have the swamp monster come through?
Should the stuff come back together, or should they just see like a ghostly remnant of where it used to be?
No, it should come back together.
Come back together? Alright.
Yeah. But do it in like intervals. Like, takes 10 minutes from after the fight, and then all of a sudden it's like it just restarts.
Yeah, that'd be funny if they walked out of the tavern and
Right.
back in and was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. Because that gives it that, like, that mystery, like, when the time goes and all of a sudden it seems to restart or reset the tables.
So, if that's how that works, what happens when they eat the food? If the food's even edible, because the food could be rotten. on our side.
Well, I'm trying to figure that out. The food definitely is the conundrum to me, because it's like, I mean, they could eat the food, but it's really just a bunch of maggots or something. I don't know. But that's kind of gross.
And if they like took the food, like if they took the food and they're like, this is full of bugs, and they throw it somewhere else, does it go back to where it was?
Or do they eat the food and then as soon as they leave the tavern, they suddenly feel hungry again? They're like, what? I just ate.
I would say if the building's going to repair itself, I wonder if the food would go back, like, you know, every so often. It would keep going back to its original state.
Yeah.
Because
that's what I was thinking.
Some magic mishap happened and shifted this thing over into the other dimension, but it's like,
do not make them eat maggots.
Yeah,
okay.
It's almost like it's stuck in a loop, like it's trying to send this tavern over, and then it resends it.
Yeah, I think that makes more sense to me.
Instead of a live copy, it just keeps backtracking to where it was when it initiated it.
So I think even when they eat it, yeah, you feel your belly fill, and then
so the food would still be good when they got there, if that's the case.
And then the 10-minute intervals, like they eat their food, and then 10 minutes after they eat their food, all of a sudden they're like, oh, why am I so hungry? Like they get even like hungrier in a way, because like their mind is so powerful, and you think that you've eaten, but your body's telling you it's hungry.
Gotta run. Giant Stompy Bots await later. Oh man, what are you playing?
I think he's playing Battletech.
Oh.
He's
That's
one of...
too complicated for me.
If you play with the right people, it's not bad.
Well, I was thinking of the video game. That's too complicated for me.
Did you play it?
I tried for like 10 minutes. I was just like, no.
I heard the story was good.
I don't want to commit to learning.
I play my video games to relax.
I got quite a few games in my Steam library. It's like, yep, if I would take the time to learn to play this, it'd probably be really fun. Battletech League game tabletop. Oh,
nice.
And speaking of too complicated, I started reading Tricube Tactics today.
I've actually read through the whole thing once.
What'd you think?
It's cool.
It's kind of full. Looking a little complicated.
It's very cherry picking though. Like you don't have to use everything in there.
Yeah. It was like the first page. Just use the part you want.
Yeah, it's definitely. I can see. How do I want to word this? I can see what he was trying to do, and I'd like to see how it feels at a table. I don't know. My kids like Tricube Tales.
Well, he was torn on making it because he's like, people who like Tricube won't like this because it's too crunchy, whereas Tricube Tales is super light, and then people who want more crunch probably aren't playing Tricube Tales anyway. So
yeah, but I like the option.
Yeah.
I definitely see where he got the Savage Worlds inspiration for some of it.
I need to play that one.
I like Savage Worlds, but all right. So we have this. What are we naming this module?
The module?
Yeah.
Not the pooper.
No, let's use a haunted swamp for now.
A fungus among us.
There it is.
Have you guys checked out Household by Two Little Mice? I think that might be the next TTRPG I check out. The art is awesome and the concept seems fun.
Didn't that one just have a Kickstarter?
I don't know. We got a guy where I'm hoping will run Mouse Ritter for us, but then we also need to check out Mouse Guard because that one looks
Mouse Guard's awesome.
Yeah, it looks cool. Do you have
Yeah, Household just had the Kickstarter back in December. Yeah.
Oh, well maybe we'll just make you run it then.
Why?
Because you have it and know it.
Well, no, I'm sorry. Let me. The Kickstarter finished in December. I don't have it.
Oh. Well, Mouse Guard or the other one?
No, Household by Two
I'm
Little
talking
Mice.
about Mouse Guard.
No, Mouse Guard I do have.
Yeah.
I have not ran it, but I've always wanted to.
Oh, well, see, there you go. Opportunity. We got some time slots open.
Did you ever read the Redwall series?
Oh, yeah, when it was new.
I love that series, and I've introduced it to my kiddos. But Mouse Guard, it's not quite that, but it can feel that way.
Yeah. Also, yes, Glee. Craig. He's willing to run Mouse Rooter for us, but I don't know how well the schedules are going to line up, because I think he has to do something with the school on Saturdays. So fully funded in 10 minutes. I believe it. That's how Kickstarters usually go. It's either the first day or never. Old Grognard says Battletech, heck
Glee.
yeah.
Mine too, Glee. Lord Brocktree. I love that book. I've read that so many times. Love that one. All right. So, I like this idea. So, what is this swamp monster?
Nasty. Should I just... If I type in nasty swamp monster, let's see what I get.
Okay. So, what do you think after 20 minutes of being around, roughly? Just like
What, walking around the swamp or?
the inn.
Oh, when the monster attacks? Yeah. Or, just whenever
Now,
they're
if I
running
really
out of
wanna-
ideas.
If I really want to get fancy with this, I would have a button on the top right that you click in Foundry, and it populates the monster token and breaks the wall. And then I would have a tile overlay to have the wall all smashed in.
It did get a little louder, Glay. Do we want the monster to be covered in mushrooms? Like, are the mushrooms controlling him?
Why not? You love mushrooms.
I love mushrooms. But are they the nemesis of this story? Because that could be a very important clue when this monster comes out covered in mushrooms. Like, that could push the players one way or the other.
What if the monster never actually dies, and like it comes close to death and it just like disappears and reappears?
That'd be kind of neat, and then they have to hurry up and figure it out because it just keeps coming back. Like, it's just the one monster they have to fight the entire.
It's like they're always being hunted the whole time while they're trying to figure out the mystery.
Yeah, that'd be neat. And his golden piss-colored mushrooms could be the solution.
You like those mushrooms, huh? Cordy.
All right, let's see what I get. I don't know about this, Chief.
Why can't I spell disappears?
The 2 S's and 2 P's? 1 S and 2 P's?
There it is.
I am not satisfied with this creature.
No. Well, describe it in words to me.
4 legs, covered in mushrooms, really gnarly fangs, and claws. Covered in swamp goop. Like it crawled out of the water.
Oh, nice. Did you say 4 legs?
Yeah. This guy looks like he's just covered in pollen.
Mushrooms. That's not what you want, though.
Well, He's not the
Well,
most scary looking thing. Plus, the mushrooms are the wrong color.
Yeah, yeah. I did put it in Foundry so our viewers can see it. Unless you were showing them and I wasn't paying attention.
I did not. As the candles burn out, parts of the map disappear. Oh, it's a Mirelurk. It could be. Could be. So I'm missing some. Let's see. Candles burn out and the boss resets. Mushrooms are in the food. The more of it they ate, the more they're in on the creature. Oh, that's an idea. Some sort of demon tie things to devices, collect the souls of people who wander in. Greed is the food. Ooh.
Those mushrooms edible? Hi, Zaxania.
They might be. Alright, Glee says your stream's kind of blurry.
Yeah, I noticed that. I'm trying to figure out if it's the share screen. Are you capturing it or are you using the URL?
The URL. That you
Interesting.
The pop out thing? Pretty sure.
Should be coming through high quality when Dan and I tested it.
Maybe her quality's just bad.
No, because you and I look good.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you could
goes
always
without saying, but
you could always log on just using capturing your browser if you wanted to, if it's clear.
well, remember we didn't do that because I can't see what you're typing. So
Let me see if I can upgrade it.
magic mushrooms.
Magic mushrooms. They're always magic, aren't they?
Not always.
More if they fill your belly.
Mm.
Get in my belly.
Either Scrag gets to see or we do.
Who said that?
Glee.
Oh. I'd say they'd send hunters out to Gackham to collect mushrooms for some special uses.
Well, if I do this, did you
What
make
are we
me
doing?
assistant GM?
I did, yeah. You can do whatever you want on there.
Well, if I can keep up with your journal entries,
Sure.
I can.
I'm just confused why it's blurry because when
Yeah, I don't know about that one either. But let me do. I'm gonna get rid of you.
Bye. I'll stop sharing the screen then.
Let me add. Oh, if I do this. If I do this. Oh, that does not work at all. Oh no.
What happened?
I tried to add the browser thing into OBS and then use the Foundry link. It just takes me to
Oh,
the login
yeah.
page.
Dan and I tried that too. That didn't work.
That don't work at all.
That don't work.
Alright, let me
So the real question is how do they solve this mystery? That's the real question. When we get to it, of course. Oh, I see people are still following me. That's funny.
Yeah, you're still on there, but let's do this. Is this it? There we go.
What happened?
Well, I'm just getting my view on Foundry up here.
Awesome. So yeah, there's a lot of things you can do here with this with these maps.
With these maps. Okay, so I'm gonna transition here. Alright. I don't know how I'm going to keep up with what you're typing.
So what we'll do is we'll work together. I can also drag you to places in the map if I remember correctly. So if I do this.
Hey.
Aha, I forced you.
Very good.
So we can work on that together, and then you should have access to like everything else.
Which means you can zip around all you want, and I'll just leave it there.
Yep. Zippity doo dah day. That's much more clear too. So. All right.
What are the A1 and A3 mean?
I was just throwing, just nothing.
Okay.
Scene 1, scene 3,
You
scene 2.
typed RAR.
I did.
It's terrible.
I just wanted to see if it worked. Is that a problem?
No.
No. It's interesting. That's still like the words are still blurry. It's so interesting to me. I wonder why. There's nothing. I don't think it's anything. It's just how it is. Now we're just being picky.
How about a four-legged fantasy swamp monster? Monster.
Where are we putting this monster? Did you send me another one?
Nah, I was just trying to make another one. See if we get something a
Okay.
little cooler looking.
Now the real question is are any of the weapons in here usable, or is there any like treasures for them in here? It's like as you're doing the swamp creature.
They could pick up one of the weapons on the table. Like mid-swing, it goes back to the table.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what?
Dang it. It's like, look at this really cool sword. Poof.
Yeah. I almost want to like make them like it's like really high quality weaponry that's in pristine condition, very sharp.
Well, I mean, if this tavern's coming from a magical... Ooh, I like this guy much better. They could be magical weapons, since everybody over there is very magical on the other side.
That's true.
That one looks a lot better.
Yeah. How big is this creature?
He's got to tear through the wall.
Yeah,
I don't think he'd be taller than the players.
Okay. So like, brown bear.
Yeah. Lankier, not as fat, but yeah.
Yeah, but I'm thinking like, token on map probably is considered a large creature.
Good enough for me.
Cool. All right, it's in there.
It do be.
Do you see it?
Oh, yeah. It came in as soon as you put it in there.
Cool. Boom. Saved.
I'm wondering... Yeah, he shouldn't be big enough to, like, chomp a player whole. That'd be a little too dangerous, but...
No, that's what I was thinking. Large, like a bear.
Yeah.
And that way, like, you might bite your arm off or something.
Gee, if you lose a limb, does it come back? Then the players wouldn't be in any danger. So.
No, or it comes back as a limb on the ground, bony and old.
Oh, man. What if one of them lost a limb and hit the ground and, like, decayed 100 years in just a few seconds?
I actually really like that.
Yeah. But somebody has to lose a limb.
I mean, we can make that happen, right?
Or the monster could lose a limb.
Yeah, but then that just disappears.
He does. I was wondering, like, if it decays super fast and then mushrooms, like, shoot up all over it, and then he comes back with more mushrooms on him.
Oh, yeah, it's stronger.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I think Mustache said something along those lines earlier.
Oh, yeah, I missed it. Sorry, Mustache.
Oh, no. The more mushrooms they ate, the more there are on the creature.
What's the DM? What would you want for a DM NPC? Oh, that way you can rip their arm off.
Yeah. What is the pro GM's hot take on GM NPCs or GM PCs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. because all NPCs are GM NPCs.
I'd much rather like communicate with a player ahead of time and say, hey, I want to rip your arm off to prove a point.
No big deal.
Than have a DM PC. Now, NPCs I love, but I never like taking away from the player's story by having a DM PC, and I've done that way too much. Now, it's a give and take. Like some play, and this also comes at session 0, something you talk about, and players you have these conversations with, because some players don't mind it at all, and they actually like it, and they like the. I have a game that they didn't want to run a healer, so I just have like a little healer bot, but I always keep them one level lower. And I don't give them much attention. And if the players give them a magic item, that's their choice, but
the first campaign I ran, after I tossed out the module and started doing my own stuff, I very quickly gave them a little companion that I was in control of.
Yeah.
Purely as a fail-safe for my GMing, because I was brand new to this, and it's like, okay, if I accidentally overtune something, he can help. and then Glee and the rest of the group got way super attached to him, and then me being me, I made them kill him. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just fun. Now, a couple of our small series, how we do like the 10 to 12 session series.
Mm-hmm.
I've had DMPCs, but he wasn't a full-blown. So our Fallout one, he was not a full-blown player character stats. Like he had the NPC stats. So our marriage
barely survived. It was rough. Let's see. The magic shrooms make them think they have lost a limb, and it's decayed. Ooh. Mushrooms shoot from the stump, quickly replacing the lost limb. The creature seems slightly smaller. Y'all getting trippy. They've been in the shrooms. But it was fun. Like, he couldn't really do much. He did a little jab, jab, jab. He barely did any damage. Like I said, he was mostly there in case I absolutely flubbed something.
I mean, you can't flub anything in 5th edition, so.
That's true. I didn't know that at the time, though.
Yeah.
I very quickly learned, wow, you cannot kill the players.
Oh, it's so hard. You can, but it's a pain in the butt.
That's the thing. People are like, well, just GM better. It's like, okay, you can go through all these hoops and all this other stuff. It's like, I don't want to do all that, man. Like, that's a different kind of game. But anyway, which note are you working on here?
Nothing. I'm trying to decide what they need to do to solve the issue.
What is the issue?
Well, first they gotta figure out they're here, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they'll know they're there when as soon as they walk in. So.
Well, I'm sorry. They gotta figure out they're stuck here.
Yeah. So after the mushrooms, if they don't try and turn around instantly.
Yeah, but then they can't get out, which is cool. But how and what do they gotta do to get out of this mindscape?
So might not work with the storyline we got now, but I did add some carnivorous plants up there near the outhouse.
I do see them. I like them. We can keep them in here.
Since they were getting special water. So.
It's another hazard. I like it.
Yeah. So is there a way you could get them to try and leave the map only to find out they're stuck?
What do you mean?
Well, an extreme example would be like they get in a fight with this thing and barely survive. They kill it, and then they're like, "Oh, there's 10 more right over there. Let's go the other way." And, then like hit the wall, and like, "Oh, we can't leave." So,
like force them?
Yeah, there's something. I guess force them, but strongly encourage them to try and leave. But I feel like that's kind of a tall order because most players, I feel like, don't want to leave the map. Except Dave in Tricube. He wants to leave us high and dry. The monster pushes him to the border. Well, if he comes in through the tavern wall, that's a lot of pushing.
Unless you make statements that they think they can't beat this creature and try to run from it.
That, or can objects go through? Because, like, the beast could smack something, goes flying across the way, and, like, you know, just hit something in the air and just slide down. Or kind of get stuck in it.
That's a good way of putting it.
That's a long toss.
It's
You
a
could
long
also do
speed.
that with the spores. If they turn around, you know, they hear the mushroom go, psst, and then they, like...
If they study the spores?
Yeah, if it's like some of the spores, you know, would go up, they'd raise up, and then trickle down, but some hit the wall and, like, kind of stuck in place.
Okay.
So that would be immediately, oh crap, we're stuck in here, because they, you know, try and poke it. It appears too
I mean,
large.
that's a good statement, Glee. Like, that's a safety route away from the creature. But it probably could leap that.
That's a good point. Oh, that's a big jump. Maybe. No.
So what if they try to leave the map at other parts? Do they reset at the beginning of this?
Well, there's a ring all the way around this thing, right? They can't get out of.
Yes. But we could put, which is really cool, we can actually put teleporters. So if they walk their token into it, it resets them back here.
Is that what we want, or do we want them to hit something solid?
I don't know. I'm asking you. Solid's good too.
I think solid. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, because my thing is once they realize they're stuck here, they're going to want to try to figure out how to get out.
Yeah.
Now, what is that? Is it they got to put this body with the other body because they're lovers?
Don't put them both in the outhouse.
No. If you put them both in the outhouse, the whole place crumbles and you die. No, you gotta.
Poo explosion.
You gotta put them both on the boat. Oh, you can't get to the boat. Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
So there's got to be like a clue, like with Henry's body, there's a love note. And it's something like, "I just want to be with my dearly beloved." But that doesn't solve the cleric issue, unless the cleric's a female and it's Henry's lover.
What if the outhouse man had a note? It could be Henry. I'm sorry. It could be the cleric. And he's realized he's gotten stuck in this place.
Oh.
And then he's written a note. He's like, I don't know what happened. I came in here. I can't get out. So even if the players didn't know it at this point, they see this note, like, can't get out. What? Then they'll go try it. And then they're like, oh, no.
There we go. Now we're thinking.
Yeah.
Now we're cooking with some cheese whiz.
Jesus. Let's see. The limbs of the creature are the mushroom-covered trees. It slowly assembles itself while the players are in the tavern. And Zania says this music needs to play during that. Some good old Kirby music. Glee says no gay lover.
I didn't say that. I said the cleric could be a female. All right, so they find a note written by the cleric.
So if we do that, so if the cleric's only been here for a couple days, well, I guess if everything's refreshing itself, he could have been here for a while. I mean, he can't eat because the food we decided if you eat it, it just leaves you.
Yeah.
But he also could have got wounded. Yeah, he could. Oh, that'd be. Obviously, you can't force this order of events, but it'd be really cool if the players killed the monster, then found the body. And then he made it on the note. He's like, I've fought this monster 30 times so far. It keeps coming back, and this time it got me, so I'm just going to bleed out here. So they're like, what? It keeps coming back, and they turn around and the monster's not there anymore.
What about, and this note is going to be found in the bathroom, yes?
Yeah,
It's
it'll
like
be on
it's almost
him.
like it's almost like his diary. Oh, so this is the cleric now.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's
Maybe.
no longer.
I don't know. That could be on one of the skeletons.
Do you want to be on the skeleton in the pooper or the skeleton over by the
I
tree?
say they could find out real quick once they cross over this bridge if that's the cleric by the tree.
Yeah, I think we need to put it in the.
Well, they're like, oh, he's stuck, and then they can just beeline right over there and be like, oh, dang it, we are stuck. Now, what's this about a monster that keeps coming back?
Well, which one builds more suspense? The finding the monster, semi-defeating it, and then it coming back, and then you're like trying to figure it out. I almost feel like, because by the time the monster comes back a second time, they're gonna be like, okay, we need to get out of here. We've defeated this thing. This is ridiculous. And then they gotta then they find the note in the. I don't know. Which so do you want them to know early on or halfway through that they're stuck here?
Do we even want the note to include this thing about the monster?
I mean, I definitely think there's gonna be some kind of diary.
Yeah, the note
Where he's
needs to say he's stuck here
Yeah, yeah.
and he can't get out. And that would be, I feel like that'd be a great spot there at the beginning because, you come in, mushroom spray. Oh, that was weird. Well, there's a body. Let's go check it out. Oh, it's got the armor. It looks like a cleric, but it's very old. You can go back to that decaying thing again. And it's like, oh, he's got a note that magically hasn't decayed. And he's stuck here. And they're like, what? And then they just go right back. I'm like, oh, shoot, we are stuck. And then they proceed to try and figure things out. Maybe he was too wounded to write the bit about the monster. And they could just see it in his armor, like where it had been bit or something.
So you're gonna write the letter, yes?
Ugh.
In beautiful choreography, and then send it to me, and we'll put it in here as an image to hand out to the players.
Oh, no.
I'm just kidding. We don't have to do that.
I am stuck here and can't get out. Does that to me? You look like you're lots of fun. Open up your living arms. Zaxania is singing in the chat.
Go Zach Zaney, yeah. What else should we add to this? Can you see this map note?
Is there one by the skeleton? Nope.
Good.
But I am the assistant GM. I want to see.
Are your map notes on? Do you have the toggle notes display on? Left-hand side, click on the journal tab. I don't think you do.
Oh, nah, I do.
No, sorry, left-hand side. Down, down. One more. Boom.
Yeah, I got it.
Click.
Toggle notes
click on
display.
Oh, there it is. I
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah, it popped up. It
Oh,
wasn't
I'm
there.
watching on stream. That's why I'm behind you. So we'll put the written note in there. We don't have a name for the cleric. Oh, we got the part about his armor. You know what's cool about us? We have it recorded, so I can go back and read through this.
Shit, I don't know which one you're typing in.
Skeleton at the tree. Sorry. It'll take a moment to. I gotta.
You gotta push Control S after every word.
Thanks, bud. All right. I'm done typing, so you're good. All right. So he's damaged. So they could investigate that right away, which is kind of cool. And then, I mean, they might not.
Yeah, I like that because you set them up. Like your goal is to find this cleric, and they do that in like the first 5 minutes. And then the problem now is, how do we get out of here?
Does he write anything about the mushrooms in his writing?
It depends on what the players are told when they set out on the adventure. Like, how much lore are you going to dump on them at the beginning?
I mean, I don't know. I don't tend. I mean, I tend to keep it simple. But I don't know.
Well, before we do that, what is this circle around the golden mushrooms up here?
I label them golden mushrooms.
Oh,
I was just labeling things as we were talking.
okay. Well, what do we want to do with Henry the Pooper?
I don't know, because I'm thinking that Henry the Pooper was probably the first one to die here.
Or is he the cause? Is he the catalyst?
Sure, but then if they find the catalyst, they have to find a clue on Henry the Pooper, and Henry the Pooper, that clue has to lead to solving the puzzle, right?
Maybe. Are we still going with the idea that the mushrooms are magical just because they've been growing out of poop from another dimension?
Yes.
Okay.
You could write that in there.
So that's why our dimension has been going here. I mean, so was Henry a master wizard and he ate some really bad beans and met an untimely demise? Do you want it to be that silly?
what is the portals in the pooper?
YouTube's gonna audit my chat log and be like, what's going on in this stream?
We're talking about poop. Yeah. So does he hold a crystal in his skeletal hands that you have to like do something with? Is there I don't know.
Well, let's fast forward a bit.
Yep.
And try and work backwards. What would be a cool way for them to escape? Do they shatter the barrier? Do they use a mushroom somehow? Do they actually cross over to the other dimension?
They have to cast a ritual that Henry has in his spell book, which is in the pooper. And that ritual, though, so they have to defend somebody casting the ritual while that monster continuously attacks them. Like,
what if they can see the book in his hand, but it's that ghostly state, and it's in the other dimension, and they have like a brief window they can hop into the other dimension and freak everybody out on the other side, and they just try and barrel through, or they might look like ghosts to them.
Yeah.
And they run out to the pooper, at 90-0, and grab the book and yeet back into our dimension and then use it.
Every time they defeat the monster, they have a glimpse. They have like a X amount of time to do something.
Is the monster like phasing in between them?
It's a phase monster.
Whoa!
It's a phase swamp monster.
Flomp.
So every time they kill it, there's like they think they kill it. Every time it phases, it opens up enough, and whoever hit it to make it phase back gets a chance. And so like they have to put that together, so that they go back to the real world and see it's like operating normal, right? And then they only have a certain amount of time, let's say 12 seconds.
Woo!
Well, how many feet is this to run from? If they were in here, how many feet?
We could put a door on the back like we were supposed to and update the
Too
map.
late.
Wow. Committed.
Too late. We're stuck with this. Yeah, I mean.
Oh, it'd be neat.
30
the
seconds?
the monster head in the tavern matches the swamp monster.
Ooh. Yeah.
So
That's a
then
good
they'll
one.
know at monsters from that side.
I'm writing this down. Some of the stuff I'm gonna type up after the stream, just because it's easier that way. And I'll rewatch the stream and type. So I like the idea that and you correct me if you're wrong, but I like the idea of like they kill the monster and they get a 30 whoever, or like not kill it, they hit the monster hard enough to put it back, to make it phase back. So, but here's the thing: they go through the phasing process, but the monster is stuck because it's dead on the other side. So, it's stuck. It's stuck too.
They're actually killing it, right? Each time.
Yes.
In our world, okay.
And yeah.
So like, when they kill this monster, the person who kills it, do they turn ethereal to everybody
Yes.
on our side
Yes.
on the first time?
Yep.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I just wondering if that's too soon.
Well, they're not going to know what to do. They're not
Yeah.
going to know they got to get to the spell book.
That's true.
So for me, it's like if they do that, they go there for 30 seconds. Everybody's like, "What the heck?" And then they back into this realm, and then they're like, "What the heck?"
So, when the player goes to the other side, are they going to know they're in an ethereal state, or are they going to think they're solid and can talk to everybody? And
Well, I think they're going to think that at first.
yeah, but like they won't look at their hands and be like, "Oh, I'm blue." Like to them, they'll think they're solid until they try and interact with something.
Absolutely.
Okay, so if that's the case, how can they interact with the book on the other side?
They can. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, it's a magic world.
Well, I mean, logic it however you want, but like, how are you going to show that to them? Because if they're running around and like, "Oh, we can't pick anything up over here," how would you insinuate?
Maybe they can. Some ghost stories is that they can interact with objects, but not people, not living things, right?
What if the other side, the tavern, is old and torn up and decayed, like all gone?
Oh, it's like
And there's a
wiped
bunch
out.
of those monsters over there.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
might phase back with a missing limb.
Oh, yeah, that's not a bad idea, actually. No, I like that one better.
Yeah, like a bunch of time passed over. Like it's been.
Yeah.
Yeah, it rotted away a long time ago.
So hear me out. Then the whole like glimpse of life that's happening here is just the spiritual remnants of what this place used to be. So it's not actually happening, right?
It's from when this spell started and yeeted it over here. Like when this food was actually active and everything. So they might even see the waitress like do the same action. Like you just see her, like let's say she's cleaning up the darts off the board. You just see her pull them all out, and then 10 minutes later you see the exact same taking them out again.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right, we got some chat
that.
here. Glee says, very alternative idea. Maybe the monster was the spirit of the swamp. Ooh, something disturbed the peace and it's monstrous now. It's not bad, not bad, not bad. Might could tie that in there. That might be what happened on the other side. They have to fix whatever it was and the monster goes back to being a peaceful spirit. Like, do y'all remember the episode of Avatar when the black and white spirit was angry about the burned forest and was stealing villagers? I barely remember that, but I kind of like where you're going. That might be
So maybe that's the ritual of the spell book, is to actually calm the spirit.
and that might have been what he was trying to do, and unfortunately died in the pooper. But I wonder if the book, it might not even be a spell book, but it could be a book that they need something to read, but they can only read it, not so much interact with it, but read it in the other dimension. Because like when it's all ghostly looking, they can't make it out.
Yeah. Is the pooper the only standing building? Like the walls are broken and decrepit, right?
Yeah.
In the tavern. So when they go to the other side and they look around, the only building that's standing technically is the pooper. So it's like that's like a focus at that point.
Could be. Also, how are you gonna do that? Excuse me, map-wise, when somebody goes to the other side.
I would make this a map.
A whole other map.
A whole other map.
Yeah.
That's how I would do it, but you could also do it through vocal description.
I like the whole other map too.
And you can do a thing I can show you when you right click on somebody's name at the bottom, you can pull them to another scene. So you can bring one individual player to a scene.
Oh, I didn't know you could split them.
Yep, you can split them. And
I figured you could. I just didn't know how.
Yeah, I love doing that because then it's like that really creates the mystery too for the other people. It's like, oh, he's gone. You know, like,
where did he go? All right.
I think we got it. I mean, that's gonna be a lot of investigation. So there's a chance this campaign, this one shot could take 2 hours, or it could take 4. You know, depending on like if they can't figure something out. Now, something I like to add in: what is a failsafe or something that pushes them along if you're getting towards the end and they're not figuring it out?
Yeah.
So my first suggestion, and just hear me out, is somebody from the other side has come to the ruins that's like an exorcist and wants to calm the spirits. Or something along those lines. So they've come here, and now they've actually opened up, and they appear here more ethereal, and they explain some of the situation and giving them clues. But they have to work together. So like this is a failsafe that I like to put in if players aren't figuring it out.
So like the other guy is on the other side, right?
Correct.
So like the first time they kill a monster, somebody gets yeeted over there. And then maybe like right before they get yeeted back, somebody says, "Wait, who are you?" or something like that.
Yeah.
And then the next time they get yeeted over, that guy might find him a little bit sooner, but still not enough. And then by the third time they go over there, he's figured out the pattern and he's ready and waiting. And info dumps on him in 10 seconds.
Yeah. Well, so because sometimes missions like these could be difficult to solve.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to have a failsafe. Like come the 2-hour mark of like they've fought this monster 10 times, they're about to die. This is something you can have as a backup.
Yeah. I like that idea.
Okay.
But why is he there?
Because
if this thing has been this way for a long time.
Because there are people who go, well, maybe there's new, he was hired by locals because everybody calls this the Haunted Swamp. So he's a ghost hunter or a spirit calmer or some kind of title like that, right?
Or
go ahead.
It actually hasn't been around that long, and you go back with the theory that the mushrooms are making it decay way faster with their spores on the other side.
On the other side.
And that would be neat. I might be making it too complicated here, but if the golden mushrooms over here were doing something, decaying things rapidly. I don't know how you would show that.
You can really only show that if the players like touch or mess with them directly, right?
Yeah. Unless you just have like a bunch of dead birds or something next to them.
You could do that. Or dead swamp critters.
Because I was going to say the monster got close to it, he could just decay and lose a limb, but he's covered in those things, so.
Yeah.
Which could be part of the what angered the spirits and all that stuff.
All of it together. Yeah.
So. Maybe we'll ignore that idea then.
I'm just processing through it.
Yep.
Just trying to picture. So let's just walk through this real quick. Players get there. There's a skeleton that they could investigate that has a clue. They could just go to the tavern where they might see into what the original tavern felt like for a hot second. Getting like, oh crap, there's stuff going on here. This is weird. They might choose to just leave after they find the cleric's body. No, job done. Boom, can't get out. And then at some point within their investigation, they get attacked. And you can leave that in the GM's discretion. Like, when do the players need a nice push, right? So like they're exploring, and then boom, you hit them with this creature, whether it's in the tavern or outside, wherever they are. And then from there, whoever defeats it, right, puts the final blow, gets teleported to a decrepit state of what it currently is. Yes, in the other realm.
Yeah. It's old and broken down over there.
And like they're like, what the heck is going on here, right? Looking around, you say some descriptions of kind of alluding to the only standing building is the pooper, which is still decayed, right? But it hasn't fallen down.
Well, and the fact it's got a bunch of weird mushrooms on it.
Yeah,
that kind of draws them to it too. So.
Exactly. And then you go, and then they go back. Then they report that. Then people start investigating more. They might actually go to the toilet. Now they open the toilet and they have the skeleton who's holding a book. Yes.
But the book is ethereal on our side.
The book is ethereal.
Yeah.
Give them some time.
Or the whole skeleton could be, and they just see the book on him too.
Why not?
Yeah. Maybe there needs to be something there that makes them realize. Wait a minute. I
like the idea that it's half caught between. Like his body is there, but the book
didn't
not.
Make it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that would make them interested. Well, what's this look like on the other side? So
exactly. So so now they want to find the monster. Hopefully they've connected that dot. They fight the monster again, but this time, is it stronger? Does it have more? It has more mushrooms. Like, what does it get? Go ahead.
I was thinking. So the monster's phasing things, and it's covered in mushrooms. Is the reason this wizard Henry man is half in, half out of the dimensions because he's got the mushrooms all over him? Could be.
That's actually a really good way of putting it. Like the magic infusing with the mushrooms is the reason the swamp monster is stuck in the same place as Henry. So when they finally figure it out and they read the spell or ritual they need from the book on the decrepit side, right? Mm-hmm. They bring that information back. And then they have to. I like the idea of making them go through a challenge event or an event to do the ritual while being assaulted.
Yes,
I love that
it would
idea.
be a long thing they have to do.
Yeah.
So like say monster shows up every 10 minutes. It's like, okay, this is a 12-minute ritual.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You at minimum you're gonna have 2 minutes of holding this thing off.
And that's exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
Because I think that's kind of cool. And then boom, they do the ritual, it shatters, and what do they return to? The decrepit side, right?
Like, yeah, if they did that, then they could talk to the dude over there and might get the info dump and
that
resolution of what happened.
Full resolution.
Yeah.
So
and then he can get the book, learn the other stuff, and say, okay, we're gonna do another ritual and purge this,
spirit.
like clean the mushrooms and yeet you guys back to where you need to go.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like this actually. I kind of want to play it. Cool. So I have a whole bunch of notes. We have a lot of things to fill out, and maybe we could do them as YouTube votes.
What do you mean?
No, you do the polls on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, I know of them. I don't ever use them, but
well, you use them all the time, don't you? When you do the no, not live stream. So because we're coming
the community posts.
Because we're coming near the end of this. So because we're gonna need names for these dudes and names like the cleric doesn't have a name, the info dude doesn't have a name. So we could, I mean, you and I could just make some of this up too, but I don't know. I think this could be kind of fun.
I think so too. Before I forget, I was going to say another one of your random dice events for ghosts. You got to have some ghosts playing chess.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. But that'd be another good thing to show the loop. Like, wait a minute. you know, this guy was in checkmate or whatever when we saw the ghost, like moving the exact same piece.
Yeah.
Or like, I guess easier to notice would be like, wait a minute, their game's just starting, and you know, guy moves the knight or whatever, and that'd be easier to realize and absorb, I think, instead of some random movement where pieces are everywhere. And plus the asset on the table looks like a new game anyway. So
yeah, it does.
And the poker cards, you could realize they're the same ones face up. So there's a few ways there.
Absolutely. Right now I have 7.
Something with the weapons, or actually I kind of like, I put some benches on the outside, like where they can sit and chill, so they could see somebody out there.
Ooh, yeah.
That or the guy taking somebody's weapon and putting it on the table with everybody else's. Move the first piece or knocks over the king. Yeah, I was thinking the first piece because that'd be a little easier to realize the game's just starting. Or you could be taking the king and somebody getting upset. Somebody having a brawl. Same guy gets punched over and over and over again. You know, one with the bartender would probably be good.
Yep.
The chef. Catch the chef, and his loop would be he dropped something on the floor and picked it up and put it right back in the skillet.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Picking his nose or something.
Yeah, just like a big old like wiping.
Yeah.
While they're cooking. Ew, we're gross. Awesome. I mean, so I think we have a solid little one shot here. And of course, as you and I are fleshing out the details a little bit more and trying to add stuff, we're probably going to add a little bit more details and things like that they could do.
You gonna do this in Monster May?
I could do this in Monster May.
You can do it with nuts. I have an idea for a nuts one. I'm gonna use if I end up doing something, I'm gonna use a very similar concept I did in the first campaign in one of the dungeons that everybody liked. So. Okay.
Well, I mean, I'll either do nuts or DC-20 for Monster May because we're trying to promote our Kickstarter too.
That's right.
So
is it specifically DC-20 what you made that for, or is it? I thought it was for everything.
Our goal is to make it for everything, but we're gonna start off in DC-20 and then make some stretch goals for a couple of different systems like 5e and all. You know, I don't know if I want to do 5e, but we'll definitely do nuts. Ironbound. Dan talked about.
Yeah, he was making a map for it yesterday.
For
Love, Death, and Monsters or whatever, but for the Ironbound setting.
Oh, Dave was?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I gotta get a hold of Dave. I gotta send him my map. Oh, making it more
to fit his setting, that
aesthetic.
Urban fantasy thing. Yeah, he was modernizing it. So.
Oh, that's cool. That makes sense. I haven't watched you guys' stream yesterday. How'd it go? Or 2 days ago. It was 2 days ago.
My stream? Or his?
Plaguebound.
Oh, that was good. Poe had a really good idea. I saved the day. And skipped an entire encounter, and now Dave has to make a map.
I love it. That's fun. Listen, GMing is hard. GMing and streaming is really hard.
Yeah. Nah, it was great because, like, we were at this bridge and we were encountering some potentially hostile individuals, and they were doing their thing, and the guy I play as isn't the brightest, and I was like, oh man, I got a great idea. And then I was like, Poe wouldn't think of that. And I was like, well, let me roll a die to see. And it critted. So I was like, all right, I got to. So I was like, hey guys, you got an idea? and it worked. So we were there was a lack of communication. We couldn't understand what they were saying, and I don't think they could understand us either. So we had just come from another encounter where our sneaky rogue arcane trickster kind of guy used a illusion to like trick the monsters we were fighting. He made the illusion of a child running around and doing this stuff. So I was like, just use your illusions to tell the story we're trying to tell. So of course that got the point across. And,
That's awesome.
we just skipped that whole encounter.
Skipped it.
And now we're friends with the Wookiees, or whatever they are. They're like very hairy things.
Yeah, they're supposed to be like an owl bear, right?
Well, one of the players is playing that. What you're thinking of?
We're
calling them foul bears to be legally distinct.
Foul bears.
Foul bear.
That's ridiculously hilarious.
You can thank chat for that one.
Chat they help come up with some of the best things in the world.
So, but it's good. I'm enjoying the campaign. It's a pretty fun story. Pose fun. It's a fun system. Like it's got just enough crunch to it to make it interesting during combat. So,
I do like. Yeah.
And
it's a hard sweet spot to find, right?
Yeah, because there's still a lot of hand waving. Like his magic system, it's like, well, what do you want to do? Like with the illusions. It's like, okay, you do it. So
I had an issue today with Pathfinder 2nd Edition where, like, I loved what the player was doing, and it was like not quite in the rules, you know. It was, but I was like, nah, dude, keep telling your story. Like, I love it. It fits. It fits you and your character and what you would do, and it's okay that it doesn't fit quite in the rules, you know, because you got to have that balance, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun. I feel like he's gonna find more luck with Plaguebound than Ironbound, even though it's the same system, but just because it's fantasy, and more people.
Which is crazy, right? Like,
well, I mean. Yeah, fantasy is usually the kind of the go-to, and on one hand you're like, oh, well, an urban fantasy, nobody does that, so surely this will do better. It's like, well, nobody does it for a reason.
Yeah, I know. It's such a battle because, like, right now I'm running a Fallout campaign, and finding cool Fallout battle maps is actually really difficult. I've had to make a bunch, and I'm wondering why, and I'm like, stop debating on getting into that market, but then I had the same exact thought. There's a reason people aren't making those and putting them online.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Smaller niche or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. I mean, you might have a different view on it, but I feel like 80% or more of TTRPG is fantasy. It's just kind of the go-to.
No, you're 1,000% correct.
Yeah.
It's more than 80%. I can give you the numbers from start playing games. I have the analytics.
It's much, well, even from like a design standpoint, that is so much easier to design for mechanically.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, 1,000% yes.
Chris says, "Stupid Australians, we make you work so hard." Is that one yours?
Yeah, I love him.
Oh man,
they like to make my life difficult.
All right. Well, it's 8:00 for me, which means we've been at this for like an hour and a half. So
I feel pretty confident in what we have.
I say we covered a lot of story. The map is there, and again, for those watching, you don't fantasize about urban settings. Urban
That's the
fantasy.
thing. I think a lot of people try to get out of the urban stuff, right?
Yeah, but when you throw fantasy in, it's like it's kind of interesting. It's something I had never considered. Really?
Well, I thought it was crazy. Like we were playing it the one time, and one of the players, I didn't even think about it because my mind's always typically in fantasy. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna pull up my cell phone and call the cops," and I was like, "Oh yeah,
I guess you can do that."
Yep. Because I typically play all the way up to World War II. Like I absolutely love Weird Wars, World War II, and I love Western stuff, right? That Weird West, you know.
Yeah, the alternate timeline kind of thing.
Freaking love that
Those
stuff.
are great. Yeah.
You know, and but there's no like even Weird Wars, like World War II. Yeah, there's communications, but it's nothing like cell phones. It's nothing like we have now, you know.
I love watching the Everyday Hero stream. Didn't blow up.
I know that was a really good stream. I do like Everyday Heroes is actually pretty good with Betty. Yeah, but we'll get there. One of us will blow up, right, Scrat?
Blow up these nuts. Oh,
Oh, he did it! These nuts.
I don't know,
All right,
man.
guys. Well, it is getting to that time point. If you want to see more of me, head over to Avenue Studios. Click any of the videos, subscribe, hit like. If you really want to see more of me, you can come play a game with me. I am a professional dungeon master. This is what I do to support my wife and 5 children. It is a good time. I always enjoy the storytelling. Hey, Twice Dead Mage, welcome.
You missed everything. That
The
is
whole
what
stream,
you
man.
missed.
Whole
We were
stream.
just wrapping up, closing it out. Jacob just gave us his like and subscribe, and I will also say that this map we made, I technically have a folder on Google Drive with a couple other low-budget maps on it. By low budget, I mean I made them. But they're usable. I need to organize that folder a bit better, and then I'm going to throw this map on there, but we're also going to make it a Foundry, if I say this right, a Foundry module that you can just go download off drive-through and then plug it right into Foundry if that's what you use, or just the plain Jane map if you want to throw in something else. So, and are we gonna make a document on the one shot, or
I was thinking that we probably should do that.
yeah, we'll have to write that up.
We'll make a little folder. It'll have the. I'll just give you when I'm done with the file. I'll send it to you, Scrat, and you can put the zip file in your. I'll send you a zip file that has instructions of how to put it in your Foundry, and instructions on how to use it, and then you can put that all in one folder with the file of a what we write up.
Yeah.
So.
And it won't be a fancy file. It'll just be a text file, a Word file.
We'll keep
with
it
the
simple.
one-shot information. We're gonna have all the fancy schmancy graphics and everything to put on there. So custom fonts. I'll write it all in my YouTube font. That weird squirrely handwriting.
Professional. That's professional font.
Oh, that'd be hard to read. But anyway, calling it. So I guess next week. You want to do this again next week?
Let me look at the calendar. I'm in March. Hold on. Back to February. We go.
Well, we're getting close to March.
I am free on the 25th of February.
All right. Well, I guess I could make sure I am too. I also free. All right.
All right, let's do it.
Next
We'll have to
week.
discuss off scene what our next project is then.
Yeah. Or it might be wrapping this one up. Who knows?
We'll see where we're at.
You can watch us type up a Word file on stream.
I'm sure that's enjoyable. Hey, seriously though, guys, head over to Moonskull. Just in YouTube, type in Moonskull. Dan and Kristen from Avenue Studios are over there. Go over there
are
and
they
say
actually
hi.
playing?
I think so.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. Go do that. Tell them you like nuts or something. Something crude.
Go in there and say "Dragon Nuts" for the win.
Oh, dragon nuts. Oh boy. Okay. All right. Well, I'm closing it on that one.
Good night, y'all.
See y'all.